Hello, it's your boy, your dude, the man of the hour, Nasty Jack. I hope you are having what may be truly a wonderful day. I've been thinking a lot lately about bread and how good it is when it is in a sandwich. You know? Like bread. My friend's dad actually owns a bread company. It's so cool. But he never gives me any bread because he says, and I quote, "Dude, my dad does not own the bread company. Stop saying that." Grr. Anyway, I hope you are enjoying the new audioboom because I know I should. The Grail of Dank Blaze, Chapter 3, The Ogre. I stared up at the green stinky boy and he looked down at me and ripped a thick fart. "Donkey?" he said. "Oh, lol. I am not a donkey." "Onion?" he said. "No, not an onion either. Though my homie here just pooped his pants like 9 times, so that could be what you are smelling." The ogre smirked and held out his hand. "My name is Schroink. I am the ogre of these swamps." "Very cool," I said. "You boys look like you've been a-rustling and a-tussling all night long. Why don't you come back to my fart palace and take a little ole stinky rest?" He did a very ugly grin. I looked at Thicky the Jim. "What do you think, bud?" Before he had a chance to respond, we heard some rustling in the distance and it reminded me of the rats we had just fought not more than 69 nice seconds ago. "Bro, what's it gonna be?" said Schroink. Yeah, go. I helped Jim the Thick to his feet and followed Schroink out of the swampy area. After what felt like 1 minute we came into a clearing. It was dark, pitch black, and there was no sun. Otherwise known as night. We saw a small little cute cottage with some smoke billowing from the stony stone chimney. Schroink opened the front door and said, "Be my guest, my little bests." We all laughed like this as we moved into the cottage. It was unlike anything I have ever seen. It had 4 walls, a fireplace, a kitchen, and a TV set. "Wait," I said as I looked at the TV. "I thought TVs were not invented for like at least 40 more years." "Oh lol," said Schroink. "That's actually just a figment of your imagination. You must be tired. It's actually just a toaster." "Oh yeah, that makes sense," I said to Schroink as my eyes started to feel heavy. "The bedroom you two can stay at is down the hall. 38 door on your right." We strolled off into the hallway and entered the 38 door on our right. It was pitch black with only the moonlight making the room barely visible. There was a bunk bed set. Ah heck yeah. The boys getting sleepover vibes tonight. I pushed Jimmy out of the way. I called top bunk nerd. As I climbed the ladder and laid into bed, I could feel my bony bones and my skinny skin ache. I was so tired. Right before I fell asleep I heard Thick Jim say my name. My eyes jolted awake. "Yes, my dude," I said. "Oh," he said as his head appeared next to my bunk. "Look at this." He held up his hand and there was blood all over it. What did you do, my dude?" He looked at his hand and back at me. "There is like totally a dead dude underneath our bed." "Grr. What?" I said as I hopped to the ground and looked under the bed to see a dude who kind of reminded me of my old boss in the year 2069. "Whoa. Yeah. Dead guy alert. Vibe check failed," I said to Jimothy. "Let's go tell Schroink. Terrible room service, am I right?" As I grabbed the door handle it wouldn't budge. "Huh?" I pushed harder and harder but it seemed locked. Suddenly we heard a noise in the distance. Like zoink Scoob, we like got to get the heck out of here, I said to Thicky Jim as I pushed him aside and tried to open the window. It too was locked. We could hear something that was large and in charge coming down the hall. Then we heard Schroink say, "You entered my swamp, but now you are my swamp." I screamed like this and then started moving the bunk beds in front of the door. Like, bro, we gotta stop this dude, he is gonna kill us and use us for human soup. Thick Jim nodded and helped push the bunk bed in front of the door. Suddenly Shorwink's fist came through the door. "Come back here, my pretties," he said. I started throwing things at the window, trying to make the very weak medieval glass break, but there wasn't much in the room to throw at it. And then I said, aha, as an idea formed in my gooey mind. I pulled out my sword and threw it at the window. Splish splash, the window smashed. I said to Thicky the kid, "Let us go." We hopped out of the window and started running towards the west away from the cottage. "That sure was close," said Jimmy. Right as I smiled at him, I heard a door slam open and glanced behind me to see Shorwink stumbling out of his cottage. He looked around and spotted us. "You're dead now," Shorwink said as he reached back into his cottage and pulled out a machine gun. I grabbed Thick Jim and jumped behind a tree just as bullets started to pass us. "Wait," said Thick Jim. "Guns don't exist yet." I looked at him confused and then was like, well, yeah, you're right. I stepped out from behind the trees and a bullet hit me. But it didn't hurt at all. I looked down and saw the little black object that hit me and picked it up. It was a chocolate chip. "Oh wow, that's so cool. Jim, this is just a chocolate chip gun. Come on. Let's get the heck out of here." We smiled and nodded and farted and pooped, and then we continued to run towards the west. Break time. Hello kings, queens and everything in betweens. I am so glad to be writing a new audiobook and so glad to be making these weekly again, and lol, yeah, if I take longer than a week to get one of these out, then you know one of my producers is being a big ol' lazy poopy head and isn't putting his friends and Nasty Jack first. Amen. Anyway, this week I am recommending, drum roll please, salt. Yum. This stuff is so good you put it on anything and boom, it tastes like 84% better than it did before. It is so good. I put salt on a lot of things and there is salt on a lot of things. Next time you eat something and you go, yuck, this is so bad, try and put a little bit of salt on it and then you will be like, yeah, okay, this is actually lean and green. It's very good. Go buy some. I recommend buying any salt from any store cause let me be honest, it pretty much is the same no matter what brand you get. Okay. Now back to the oily gooey stewy story. It had been 4 hours since we had escaped the clutches of the big ugly fat farts or poopy chicken sandwich eating ogre, and my legs were so freaking tired. We had been walking through an empty field with only the moonlight guiding us to the next destination. The forest of not chill vibes. Thick Jim XL and I had not spoken a single word in the last 2 hours. We were tired, hungry, gassy, and stinky. I saw some trees appear in front of my dummy tired eyes, and then I saw a dummy thick boulder right outside the wooded area. I decided to sit my thick cheeks on it. Thick Jim sat on the ground next to me. He put his head between his legs and said to me, "Nasty Jack, I know you are very cool and adventurous and I love you with my whole heart, but like, do you think this is the frickin' forest of not chill vibes?" He said as he nodded towards the trees. A high-pitched voice came up from behind the bush to answer Thick Jim's question. "You are correct, King." I pulled out my sword and looked at the bush. "Bruh, please, whoever you are, I will like totally cut your nutties off if you try to hurt me or my homie. We like already had to escape a fart so ogre tonight and I don't need another bad time." A little gnome-looking dude stepped out from the bush with a very cool pointy hat. "Oh please, Mr. Sir. Please, oh please do not kill little ol' Amy. Please. I'm one of 983 guardians of the forest of not chill vibes." "And what is your name, Mr. Tiny Boy?" "My name is Bell or Groot Granite Bell. But please, I know to your human mind that is too much to comprehend. So please call me Dal." Thick Jim XL and I looked at each other with confusion and honestly a little relieved he wasn't another ogre. He began speaking again. "Long ago, in like 1069 BC, there lived 4 kings and they all came to this forest to have good vibes. They would sit on logs and talk about Pokemon, Animal Crossing, Zelda Breath of the Wild, and eat ices and Curious George fruit snacks. They called it the Great Forest Retreat. However, the kings got greedy. They started having forest retreats every other week and their kingdom's economy started to nosedive. The people of the kingdoms had to resort to eating Taco Bell breakfast every day because it was all they could afford. One day a witch of one of the 4 kingdoms got angry like this. She was fed up with the boys going to the forest just to vibe and talk about stupid hypothetical video games. So she followed the kings to the forest and cursed it. They were all inside the forest when she cursed it and they died instantly the next day. Today the curse still protects the forest and anyone who enters has a risk of losing their life, their friends, or worse, their very chill and cool aesthetic. Okay, so can we go through the forest or what? I said to him after we stared at each other awkwardly for 3 minutes straight. Dal laughed like this. Of course. There is just one thing you must do. I sighed. Bro, I already hate Yole medieval times. But whatever. What is it? If you want to get into the forest of not chill vibes. He stopped and looked up at us. You will have to fail the vibe check.